quickly. Game was over, everyone came onto the field and suddenly she was dead. I can't believe I didn't see anything.
You were moonlighting with the departmental video equipment. Now, assuming that you were providing your own tapes, what is it you were actually filming?
I don't normally... Well, I was just shooting some matches for a friend who's organising some video games.
Actually, Malcolm, can this wait? Dee's had a bit of a shock. I really ought to sit her down.
Well, look, this happens to be the kitchen. If you can't handle
Yes,
it...
but Malcolm, she's not going to be much use to you if she's still in shock.
Malcolm, who's the victim?
The referee, Carol Hauser.
Pretty public killing.
Well, nobody saw anything, including one of our own constables.
Morning, Tessa. Field's not going to be of much use to us, unfortunately. The girls' studs have churned it up considerably.
What does this card mean?
Yellow is a caution. Red means you're off the field.
Somebody wanted her off the field. Permanently. That's Terry Maloney, the Scorpions coach. The girl with him is Miriam Hauser, the victim's daughter. Now, the players are in the change room and you're not going to get too much out of them because they're hysterical. You know how young girls can get.
Like most people who just witnessed a murder, I would imagine.
Mr. Maloney.
Yes.
Detective Hayden, this is Detective Vance. We're from Homicide. We'd like to ask you a few questions, if we may, sir.
Yeah, sure. Do you mind if we chat inside? I want to make sure these other girls are all right.
Sure.
Oh my God.
What's that, Custer?
It's on the tape. What is... I didn't stop filming till after I saw the body. I probably got the killer on tape.
Well, you better get cracking, hadn't you?
I know that it's not easy to answer questions at a time like this, but could you tell me, do you know of anyone who might have wanted to hurt your mother at all?
No. Everyone loved her. She was the best there is. It's got to be some sort of terrible mistake.
Do you come to all the matches?
Only when the Scorpions are playing. I'm sort of their masseuse.
How do you mean?
I didn't pass my physiotherapy finals. Terry took me in, probably because of Mum. I have to do something to earn my keep.
Can you tell me what your mother was doing this morning before the game?
She got up early, went for a 5K run, had some breakfast, had some phone calls. And she got here about an hour before the game.
Do you know who she called? Did she seem tense to you or worried at all?
Mum never worried. She was never tense before a game. She loved it. Soccer was the most important thing in the world to her.
This is senior women's soccer, Detective. Players often feel bitter towards the referee. It's par for the course. Overall, Carol was fair and decisive, but I can't imagine anyone wanting to kill her.
Did you see anyone near her after the game?
Well, there were people everywhere. I was just busy congratulating Angela. She's up for selection for the Nationals, you know. Poor kid. I can't afford for anything to put her off a game. Here, look at this. See, she's great. I'm about to launch her big time. Sponsorships, endorsements. I got big plans for her. And the team. New gear, here, look. See, I'm trying to make the game a bit sexy, you know, give it more of an image. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Look, sex sells. If modesty sold, I'd sell that. I'd sell anything to put women's soccer up where it should be.
Don't go on, Mum. I'm all right. You're in shock. Take a drink. Mum. It'll do you good, darling. Come on, have some.
Excuse me. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions, Miss?
Eileen Watson, and I've already talked to the police and I didn't see anything. I was in the toilet.
You didn't play today?
Not today, no.
Did you know the victim?
Not on a one-to-one basis, if that's what you mean.
Do you know if she had any enemies at all?
Yeah. About 22 of us.
Right.
She's a ref. Probably hasn't been a coach or a player who hasn't wanted to kill her at some stage.
A lot of referees are unpopular, Miss Watson. Doesn't mean they end up dead.
Yeah, well, Carol wasn't like most referees.
You ever queried her decision, she'd get right in your face. The rules state whatever I want them to state. Yeah, she liked giving out those red cards too.
Arlene, haven't you got that equipment to sort out?
Angela, how often did Carol Hauser referee your games?
A lot. Except the week before last, she didn't turn up.
Was that unusual?
Maybe she was sick. Ask her daughter. Players don't ask referees questions.
You and the other players were quite close to her, though, weren't you?
Please, I have to take my daughter home.
I'm sorry, I can't help. You've forgotten my guards.
Mrs. Riccadella, we will need to speak to your daughter at some stage.
Well, she's too upset at the moment.
Okay, so Angela Riccadelli's fouled and she's given the penalty. I started moving in here towards the goal to get a better angle.
Well, there's the victim.
Yep. So Angela takes the kick, scores. It's coming up, sir. Carol blows the whistle there to signal the end of the game. Now everyone comes onto the field. Watch this. I zoom in on the players.
Keep an eye on Carol.
Everyone's moving past her.
There's Miriam, Terry Maloney.
Mrs. Riccadelli.
Can you stop there?
Yep.
And slow it down?
I don't believe it. She was out of frame. I didn't get it. Nothing. I didn't get anything.
Yeah?
Mr. Riccadelli? Take your bats and take
Catriona? Cops are here. Yeah. It's a terrible thing. It was the World Cup, you can believe it, but local women's thing. Yes.
Hello, Angela. I've just got a couple of questions for you, if that's all right. Won't take very long. You were standing near Carol when she was stabbed. Did you notice any unusual movement or anyone who didn't belong there?
Look, I just scored the winning goal. People came at me from everywhere. I didn't even see Carol.
My Bella. Beautiful, huh?
Come on, dear. Drink up.
Mum.
It's good for you. You're not going to keep her long, are you? She has to get to the gym.
Not long at all, ma'am. Can you think of anyone who might want to kill Carol?
No, if you mean one of the players, no. No way.
Some of the other players mentioned that Carol was a bit of a control freak. Would you agree with that?
She could be tough, but it's all part of the game.
Were you at the game, Mr. Riccadelli?
Oh, yes, but I missed the last 10 minutes. Had to go back to the car to get my coat. Pretty damn cold out there today.
So you missed your daughter's winning goal?
I wasn't really expecting them to win, even though I know my Bella is the best. Without a coach, I thought the other side had them beat.
Papa!
What do you mean without a coach, sir?
Terry Maloney was kicked off the sidelines during the first half by Carol Hauser.
Angela was brought down. It was a clear foul, and Carol didn't even stop the play. I called out to her, but she must have heard me, so I ran out onto the field to make sure Angela was all right. Well, Carol booted me off for the rest of the match. That was it.
She ordered you off the sideline.
Look, we just had a few words. It was nothing, okay? We still won. And even if we hadn't, coaches don't go around killing referees just because they have a disagreement.
No latent prints on the knife. There are one or two partials that may come in handy later on. Now the card was placed on the knife before it was stabbed into the body, so it could be some sort of statement.
What, to make us think it was a player or a coach, perhaps?
Put us right off the track. You know, it
Now-
could be someone outside the game altogether.
Yeah, this is important. This is important. We found a fibre, a black woolen fibre on the card, and it does not come from the victim's clothing. We also found another fibre on the handle of the knife. Now, this one is synthetic.
Do you know what they're from?
Oh, yes, something woolen and something synthetic. Sorry, but that is all I've got, and you're lucky to have it at this moment.
Really? Then why are you hiding the referee's book
Haven't
from
done
us?
it yet, Hayden. That is all I've got. Go.
Well, great. Thanks for everything. It's been wonderful.
So what are we watching?
Okay, this is from the footage I took today, right? And this is the footage I took at the soccer match a fortnight ago. There. It's the same ring. That's Carol Hauser.
She was supposed to referee the match 2 weeks ago, but she didn't show up. So why did she sneak in to watch?
Exactly. And why this hooded jacket? It's not raining. She mustn't have wanted to be seen.
Yeah, what's she looking at? She's using binoculars.
Roll it forward in slow motion, will you, Constable?
There's Hugo Riccadelli. What's he doing?
Hand signals. But who's he signalling to? Hold it.
Well, he's signalling to Angela.
Play tape.
Yeah, I remember this. It was a penalty point. Everyone thought this would seal the match, and she missed it.
Well, a player of her ability should have sunk that.
Maybe not. Here's your answer. Those hand signals were instructions. Angela threw the game. Now, Father's on the sideline. He's taking bets. She's working with him. Carol Hauser knew it. Carol Hauser went to the match a fortnight ago incognito. Now, she must have suspected that Angela Riccadelli, because of her father's betting activities, was throwing games.
If Carol reported it, she ruined Angela's chances of being selected for the national team.
Enough reason for murder?
Terry Maloney loses his big chance to make dollars out of Angela, too.
Hey, Carol House made 2 phone calls this morning. One of them was to the Riccadelli household. Bit improper for a referee to call a player on the day of the match, isn't it?
Not if she was threatening to expose Angela for throwing games.
They want both of you to go to homicide.
It's nothing. Probably got something to do with what you told him about Terry.
Nothing. You drag our daughter into your sordid little business, risk ruining her entire career. You call it nothing.
Sordid little business allows us to pay for all those extras for Angela that you demand. Haven't noticed you complaining before.
Because you've never involved Angela before.
I had everything riding on that game. If Angela's team had won, we would have lost the packet. Then how we help her get where she wants, hey?
They're not going to ruin my career. They can't.
It looked like the Scorpions were going to win that match a fortnight ago, sir, so you got Angela to throw the game, didn't you?
Oh, come off it. What sort of a father would I be if I didn't back my own daughter's team, hey?
The sort of father who also takes bets on the games. You were fixing the games, weren't you?
I didn't throw the game. I was just having an off day, that's all.
The signal from your father, that mean anything to you?
He was just wishing me luck.
Carol Hauser was watching you and your daughter at the match. She knew that your daughter deliberately missed the goal.
You can't prove that. No one could, not even her.
Well, we know Carol rang your house this morning. Did you speak to her?
She didn't ring.
The call was logged, which means someone within your house must have answered the phone.
Then it wasn't me. Or she must have hung up before she spoke to anyone. Dad and I didn't do anything wrong. I don't know what you're talking about.
We've checked around, Mr. Riccadelli. You're quite well known at these games, sir.
Oh, so what? It happens in all sports. A bit of harmless fun on the side, that's all. Small-time stuff.
Must be quite expensive having a child who wants to be involved in professional sports, especially when there aren't too many sponsors around for women's teams.
Tell me about it.
So it'd be important to you, sir, that nothing happened to stop her career.
Yeah. So why would I ask her to do something that could throw her, eh? Apart from which, my mother would kill me. Look, if you try to pin this on me, I wasn't anywhere near Carol when she was murdered. I was in my car. I wasn't there.
You were near Carol when she was killed.
Come on. You've seen those bloody shorts we wear. Where would I hide a knife?
You wear guards, don't you?
We all do.
All right, so someone could have passed you a knife and you could have hidden it in one of your shin guards.
I was pulling up my sock. I didn't kill her. I didn't.
The knife entered the base of the left ventricle, cut the coronary artery. She bled into the pericardial sac. The sac filled with blood. It compressed and stopped the heart. Death wasn't immediate. In fact, and this is the interesting thing, she could have lived for up to a few minutes after she was stabbed.
A few minutes? Why didn't she call out, scream?
Shock? She might not have been capable of screaming. Or she didn't know she'd been stabbed.
Hey, hang on. You're saying this woman had a knife in her and she didn't know it?
Have you ever heard of Elizabeth, Empress of Austria?
No,
True
I can't say
story.
I have.
She was on the quay at Geneva when she was knifed in the chest by an Italian anarchist.
Luigi Luceni was his name.
She walked onto the ship without realising she'd been stabbed. Then she collapsed and died. You know this story, do you, love?
Yes, it was a distance of 50 metres approximately.
You're saying that she might not have been stabbed at the net?
I'm saying it's possible she walked some distance before she died.
Which means she could have been stabbed somewhere else. Which means we've been looking at the wrong section of tape. Thank you. All right, she could have been stabbed any time from this moment on.
Okay, Miriam Hauser, Terry Maloney, Catriona Riccadelli.
Camera's lost Carol.
Right, here's where Angela bends down to pull up her socks.
Any one of them was close enough. Too much pushing and shoving to tell.
Thought you might be interested in the victim's second last entry in her notebook.
Oh, you finally got around to processing it, did you?
It was made at half-time. She was going to report Terry Maloney to the soccer tribunal.
Really?
Hey. What are you doing back here? Come on, let me take you home.
Why didn't Mum like me, Terry?
Well, of course she liked you. She loved you.
No, she didn't. She loved the others. Just because they could play a stupid game. I tried, I did everything for her. Nothing was good enough.
Well, you've still got me. Okay? And the team. We're all here for you, all right?
She noted her intentions in her referee's book, Mr. Maloney. Are you telling us that you weren't nervous about that incident, sir?
Look, we were yelling, all right? I can't remember exactly what was said.
If you'd been reported, how would that have affected your chances of getting the position of national coach?
Well, I don't know. It probably wouldn't affect it at all.
But without that report, your chances are so much greater, aren't they, sir?
Look, I don't like the way that this is going, all right?
I'm sorry about that. You seen this knife before, sir?
It's a knife. They look the same to me.
It's the same as this one, isn't it?
We use those to cut the ropes to tie up the nets. We mainly use Velcro, but today we use the ropes. They're more secure if it rains.
Right, synthetic. All the ropes synthetic?
Yes. Why?
Who put up the nets for the matches?
Me and Eileen.
And what did you do with the knife?
I gave it back to her. I suppose she brought it back here.
She was the girl that wasn't playing.
She got suspended for 4 weeks.
And what was that for?
Persistent misconduct after receiving a caution.
And who gave her the caution?
Well, who do you think? Carol Hauser.
Yeah, I helped put up the nets.
And what happened to the knife when you'd finished?
I put it back in the equipment box.
Right, then what did you do?
I filled up the water bottles for half time and then I went back out to watch the match.
Did you stay on the bench the whole of the second half?
No. I went for a bit of a walk and then I went to the toilet.
Bit of a walk where?
I don't know. Around, just around.
When was that?
Just before the final whistle.
You weren't interested in the match? Did anyone see you go for your walk?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
How did you feel about the Penalties and Disputes Committee suspending you for 4 weeks?
I was unlucky. I must have got out of bed on the wrong side that day. I should have only got a week's suspension.
Would Carol Hauser's report have anything to do with that?
It might have done.
Who cares? I'm not Angela, all right? I like soccer, but it's not the be-all and end-all. Hey, it's me. Where are you? Thought you were going to come pick me up. Yeah. I know we've got to be careful, but... Yes. Yes. I think they bought it.
Terry,
Yeah.
Carol's notebook. What if there's something in it about me?
Like what? Listen. Don't you worry. Alright? Now I can release the truth about her anytime. What a bitch she really was. How she had a personal vendetta against me.
That'll make things worse for you.
Not if we stick together.
Was standing about there when she blew the final whistle. She was then jostled across to here, passed by Miriam, Terry, and then Catriona on their way to Angela, who was standing about there.
Now, they all had motives. Terry Maloney. If Carol had reported him to the tribunal, that could have ruined his career.
He says he didn't know that.
Well, he's not going to admit to it, is he? Angela Riccadelli. Now, if Carol was going to report her for throwing a game, bingo, another career down flames.
Yeah, that wouldn't make her parents very happy at all.
Tessa, what about the victim's daughter, Miriam?
Yeah, well, she thought that her mother cared only about soccer and the players.
Rejection, jealousy, strong motives. And all of them had access to the knife.
Now, there was a time when Carol wasn't in shot. Before Angela bent down to pull up her socks. She could have been stabbed then.
Meaning someone out of shot stabbed her.
Come on, it's got to be here.
AD, how about some time out, huh?
Yeah, good.
Hey, look, a whole crowd of people didn't see what was going on either. Come on.
Yeah, except what happened was a murder and I'm a cop and I missed it.
Yeah, good, great. Sorry, thank
I
you.
just want to go through.
Good. You get square eyes. Come on, time out. Thanks, Joe.
So the synthetic fibre from the knife was definitely from the rope used to set the nets up.
All right, so what are we left with? A woolen fibre and, 100 people rugged up against the coal.
I know people get passionate about games, but murder?
Well, there was a time when village disputes were settled through games.
Yes, but it doesn't always have to be rough and tumble. I mean, what about chess? The board is the battlefield. Kingdoms won or lost without bloodshed. Very civilised.
In your dreams, Tootsie. In the real world, the loser would be in the pub, knifing the winner, like that.
Do you mind showing me that tape again?
Now?
Yeah,
Give her a break, Tess.
could be wrong. It's the game 2 weeks before the murder.
I just got her out of there.
Oh, okay.
Well, Imogen, you play chess, do you?
She's a very beautiful girl, Nance.
Who?
The woman you were waving to.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, go back to Carol. Freeze on her. Why are we doing this? Because sometimes people aren't doing what you think they're doing. All right, now, good. Okay, roll forward a fraction. And stop there. I knew it. She's not looking at him at all. She's looking past him. Okay, what's to the right of Hugo?
It's just the background.
Stop there. Go in. Yeah, I know it's background, but it's what Carol was looking at. Something across the soccer field, not on it. How close can you go in without losing picture?
There. there's someone in the back seat.
Well, if that's what Carol was looking at, could be.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't get any clearer.
Right, all right. Go forward to just after Angela deliberately missed the goal. And go in on the background again.
Hugo Riccadelli.
His wife?
Doubt it.
It'll take a while, but I might be able to squeeze a few more pixels out for you.
Good on you.
I don't know when. Some nights he doesn't get home till all hours.
What's he doing here?
Angela, why don't you go and take a bath? You'll catch your death.
Carol Hauser rang here this morning. Did you speak to her at all?
No,
Do you know who did?
I had no idea she rang. I will tell my husband you called.
Great, all right. If you could just ask him to come down to homicide first thing in the morning, I'd appreciate it.
Of course. Good night.
Good night.
Did you have sex with my mother? It's all right if you did. It's over now.
Just leave your brolly there. Do you want to take your coat off?
No, this won't take long. I'm here because your partner, the other detective, has been asking more questions. Now, I can't have my family going through this stress any longer. My husband has seemed a little on edge. It's because we've been trying to protect a friend's reputation. Terry Maloney has been very good to Angela, very good to the family. But Angela's the most important thing in the world to me.
So this is about Terry Maloney's reputation?
Terry and Carol Hauser, they've been having a relationship. And Terry broke it off about 5 weeks ago. Now, well, that's what he told Hugo. But then, men often say that to protect their own ego. She could have been the one to have dumped him.
My solicitor says I don't have to answer any more of your questions.
You've consulted a solicitor, have you?
Yeah, and he says I've been more than cooperative with you.
Yeah, and we appreciate that. We also appreciate the fact that you tend to be a little forgetful. For instance, you neglected to tell us you were having a relationship with Carol Hauser.
No comment.
No comment. Is it true that you broke off the relationship? No comment. No comment. All right, look, I'm going to give you two scenarios, all right? Carol broke off the relationship, you didn't like it, so you killed her. No, don't like that one? Okay, here comes the second one. You broke off the relationship, Carol didn't like it, so that's why she got tough with you and your team. She ordered you off the field and was going to report you to the judiciary. You killed her to protect your career. Do you like any of those?
No comment.
No comment. It's all circumstantial and he knows it. We've got to do better than this.
Ooh, I've enhanced that picture. I'm going to print it for you.
Hey.
Look, I was in the car with Hugo, all right. Would have thought it was pretty obvious why we had to lie. He's married, in case you didn't know.
So how long's the affair been going on, Eileen?
3 months.
How did it start?
I don't know. He was nice to me. Hugo, he thinks I'm special. He used to say I was every bit as good as his daughter, and it was only because Terry had picked her out to be a star that had stopped me being put up for selection too.
Eileen, when did Hugo first ask you to throw a game?
He didn't.
While you were sitting on the bench, Hugo had his own daughter throw a game. Now, you don't have to be a genius to work out that this probably wasn't the first time that he wanted to fix a match. Well, do you?
Look, I just had to miss a pass occasionally or deliberately foul. It wasn't like I was...
Is that why Carol Hauser reported you for a foul?
Yeah. We needed the money so we could be together. We're in love. He's gonna leave his wife and everything.
Did Did he tell you that?
Of course. Anyway, I'm glad it's all out in the open. She had to find out sometime. Now she'll have to let him go. He loves me.
It was a fling. That's all. You know how it is. My wife was spending all her time with Angela. I was lonely. Eileen needed someone. I was going to break it off anyway.
Right. Did your wife know?
Hell no. We were pretty careful. We used to meet after half-time, join everyone else after the game. No one ever missed us.
Right. We believe Carol Hauser knew about the affair, sir.
No. Never. How could she?
Well, she saw you in the car 2 weeks ago. Is that why she rang your house the day she was murdered, because she knew about the affair?
I'm telling you, she didn't ring.
All right. Did your daughter know you were seeing Eileen?
It's truth, no.
Well, let's just say that Angela did know. And if she did, and she thought Carol was going to tell your wife, she'd do anything to stop your family being broken apart, wouldn't she?
Where's Terry? Gone.
What do you mean, gone?
He went out.
I'm sorry about your mother, Miriam. I know how much you must miss her. If there's anything I can do...
You're not sorry. No one is. Everyone hated her. You always say the right thing, don't you, Angela? Always so perfect. Going places, my mum said. She never said that about me. Terry thinks I'm all right. He's going to look after me. Take me with him when he gets a top coaching job. So you leave him alone. Leave him alone, bitch!
Thanks very much for your time, sir. So, where to now?
Back to the tapes, I guess.
Carol's blown the whistle, the Scorpions have the ball.
You know, I can replay this in my sleep.
Hugo's car's in the background. Scorpions...
Hey, stop there, stop there. Now, how much time was left in the match here?
About 5 minutes.
Okay, go in on the car.
Okay, what are we looking for this time?
Hugo and Eileen said they never left the car until after the match.
But the game's still going on and there's no one in the car.
There's another lie. Thank you.
Thanks.
Welcome.
We didn't lie. We usually stayed in the car till full time, but Eileen thought she heard someone coming.
What did you hear?
I don't know. It sounded like a branch snapping. Something like that.
And which side of the car did it come from?
My side. We panicked and left the car.
Together?
Split up. I went to the toilet and Hugo... Well, he must have gone back to watch the end of the game.
All right. So we left the car a few minutes before we said we did. So what?
So you could have made it to the sideline just as Carol blew the final whistle and you could have stabbed her.
In other words, you have no alibi. Hey, how's this?
No good, I can still see you. I would have got you on tape.
Yeah, I can see you from here.
All right, we've got to get the geography sorted out. Tell me when.
Good. Can't see you anymore.
No, you've gone. It's good.
Okay, now Eileen Watson said she heard a noise. Tell me if you can hear me without the radio open.
Okay, ready? Yeah. Oh, yes. Heard that.
All right, well, I can't see the car from here. I can see the goal area, but I can't see the car.
I'll check the area out.
It's possible she walked some distance before she died. Okay, now if someone was standing over there, they weren't interested in the car, they were watching the goal area.
Okay, 15 seconds.
That would have been a lot faster if I'd run, and no one would have noticed because everybody ran onto the field.
Found something? Wool and yarn. It's red. Get a bag, we do.
It'll be the same as you found on the murder weapon.
Well, we'll have to do a comparison test.
It's red, the other was black.
Yeah, they'll be from the same article. Now, whoever was hiding in this bush had time to run onto the field and kill Carol Hauser. We know that one of you or all of you are lying about that telephone call because we know that Carol rang this house the morning that she was murdered and she spoke to one of you. Mrs. Riccadelli?
It was me. I spoke to her.
What about?
Nothing in particular, just, she,
Stop it, Papa. You can't take the blame. It was me. I spoke to her.
Angela?
She said she knew that I'd thrown the game and she said she'd make sure I never did it again.
Who owns those?
Those are scorpion gloves. Everyone in the team has a pair.
One of them has a tear in it. Looks as though it could have been ripped on something.
Some branch, perhaps?
The threads from your gloves match those we found on the knife and on the branch near where you were waiting. Now, when you first ran onto the field, you were wearing gloves. But here, no gloves. So why did you take the gloves off? In case they had blood on them?
Angela told me that Carol knew she'd thrown the game. She was going to ruin my daughter's career. I couldn't let that happen. Not after all we'd worked for. Angela begged her not to report her. That it was just one mistake.
Carol was a stickler for the rules.
Oh, she was worse than... She was vicious. She was jealous. She'd never made it to the top, and she didn't want Angela to. This was Angela's chance. I didn't want her struggling to make ends meet, living with a man she didn't respect. She could have had everything I never had.
Did your husband know about this?
Oh, my husband, he had other things on his mind.
Okay, all right. Where did you get the knife?
Went to the club room at half-time. No one took any notice of me. I'm sorry. I tried to put Terry... I'm sorry I tried to blame him, but I'm the one responsible for getting Angela where she is today, not him. Coaches can be replaced, but she can never replace her mother.
Well, it was there all along, sir. Staring me in the face and it didn't see it.
Dee, we all looked at that tape. It's easy to miss. Okay?
Thanks, sir.
Well, it was a good result.
Yeah.
Teamwork.
Mind you, we should have picked up on the gloves earlier. Just shows you that you have to go over the evidence at hand time and time again. Good night.
Night.
No.
How about a game of pool?
No, thanks.
Why not?
Because I'm about as interested in pool as I am in soccer.
That's because you're not a team player. You like solo affairs like rock climbing.
You know me so well.
Oh, come on, admit it. You lack hand-eye coordination.
It's uncanny. Nighty-night.
Nighty-night.
Steve?
Good night.